Chael, you're the best. Got my Magic Spoon cereal. It's because of you. Because of that, having a nice, nutritious breakfast. My question for you. Am I the only one who doesn't think Colby Covington deserves a rematch? That he's, the number one contender? If you look at Usman's career, I don't think he's ever lost a round. I think the only person he's ever lost a round against is to Colby Covington, other than the one judge in the Masvidal fight. And Colby Covington, I don't think he's ever lost a round before, other than against Kamaru Usman. And I understand, yes, he was stopped, but if that style of fighting, there's no way no one's going to, get stopped when you fight the way those two fought. And when I see those two fight, it gives me memory, like, I kind of compare them to the GSP Johnny Hendricks rivalry is what I see in them. I think those are clearly the two best welterweights. Not that there's other guys that couldn't crash the party, but, I think they're a little bit above the rest of the field. Not that 170 is a very, very good weight class. But, everybody, I feel like, Covington had a shot. Everybody's putting him aside. Oh, if he fights Masvidal win that, he'll be back in the mix. I don't know about that. I think that, I think that those two look very well. I think they showcased, a skill we didn't know that they had. Their striking. And in my opinion, that was one of the best fights of all time. I just want to know what your opinion is on that, because I feel like a lot of people aren't really giving Covington, the credit that's due. He fought an awesome fight, and it was one of the best performances, even though it wasn't his way. I thought that was an awesome performance. Thank you.
Thank you for the reminder. I'll join you for breakfast. I got to tell you, as I listen to that question, what I think that you're attempting to do is to make sure you're complimenting 170 pounds for the depth. Anytime you have a weight class where you're making an argument of who should be going against the champion, oh, and by the way, you also think that there's guys who can beat the champion, you got a really great weight class. Now, when you are talking about Usman, I heard you say that he hadn't ever lost a round except for those two to Colby, and the one judge had Masvidal winning one. Somewhere along the way, Usman lost a fight, and I never saw it. I've looked for it. I can't find it. I don't know if it was early in the UFC after he won the Ultimate Fighter. I don't know if it was on the regional scene before he busted on. But he's got a record of 16-1. I don't even know who that one is. I feel like we should know, right? When the champion of the world only loses one fight, I feel like we should know who that's to. I've never known. I do want to tell you, when you are talking about, okay, Gilbert Burns is going to be next, by example. Go back a week ago, Tyron Woodley, who has certainly earned the right to an opinion within that weight class, said Gilbert Burns is going to win the ground fight. My question was, is Tyron Woodley saying Gilbert Burns is going to win the portions of the fight that end up on the ground, or is T. Wood saying he predicts Gilbert to win by taking it to the ground and beating Kamaru? Look, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Those boys are going to have to go figure it out. But the mere fact that a top contender and a former champion in the weight class who has fought both of them is giving shine to Gilbert Burns adds to the idea that, yeah, we need to put Gilbert in there. And the point that you made about Colby being Usman's hardest fight, absolutely, that's true. And you want to know who would agree with that statement? Usman. Usman was cool after that fight. He said, man, I thought I beat this guy a lot easier. That guy's a tough guy. I'm going to see him again. And when he climbs back up, I'll give him a shot. I will tell you one thing on that fight. So close. And so dirty. I mean, that fight got dirty right from Jump Street. And these guys are going at it in that building, man. The tension in that building. They go into the fifth round. It is 2 apiece. That's official. All 3 judges. It comes down to the 5th round. And then you have the controversial stoppage. Controversial in that Colby Covington disagreed with the stoppage. When you have fights like that, you redo them. You run them back. You make the fight that night at the press conference. One thing we figured out tonight is that if Kamaru Usman's the baddest dude alive, Colby's the second. One thing we found out, and that would be said at the press conference, you'd rebook the fight. What happened is there was a false rumor that Colby had broke his jaw in the fight. There's no way to rematch a fight, at least right away, until you find out what medical issue a guy's going through. How long is Colby going to be out? Are we going to have to wire this jaw shut? Is it, what all is going to go into it? So that fight didn't get remade. Look, I do think that fight's going to be made. Colby, T. Wood are going to square off. something's going to happen with Leon, but it's not right away, and Gilbert's going to go fight Kamaru. I'm happy to have this conversation with you or anybody else as many times as we want to have it. But generally, these conversations stop once fights are announced. We have these conversations debating what fight should be announced. These fights are announced. So sit back. Let's enjoy it. Gilbert Burns earned the opportunity. He's taken on a guy he knows well and a former teammate in Kamaru Usman. We have something to look forward to there. By the way, if anybody else likes what we're doing here with breakfast, this is from Magic Spoon. And you can click on the link below, grab a variety pack. Be sure to use the promo code Chael. At checkout, you're going to get free shipping. Or just go to magicspoon.com/Chael. I never planned to turn this into a little plug for this wonderful cereal, but I felt like you really helped me. I feel like we did something here.